All right. Hi, friends. It looks like I'm live. You may come in on me doing some last minute prep. I'm not completely sure what it normally shows, but uh, thank you guys for joining me today. There's a little bit of lag here, so I'm just waiting for it to catch up. Okay. All right. Looks like I'm on. Awesome. All right, I am going to just make a couple of adjustments here on my screen, and I'm going to pull this up on my phone so that when I go to turn this around, we will be good to go. Okay, all right, there we are. Turn that off, don't need that bad echo. All right, sorry I'm a couple minutes late, guys. I was getting prep work done and I kind of lost track of time. So thank you guys. Yep, I've got my little heart shirt on today, just prepping for, or, just in celebration of Valentine's Day, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and turn on my foil system. I wasn't going to foil, honestly. I have a set of these sentiments foiled already, but I kind of decided I wanted to do them in a different color. So we're going to go for it. I have a lot on our plate for this card today. So here's hoping I can get it done in an hour. We may go a little bit over. I do apologize for that. And of course, you're always free to head out and you can catch whatever you missed on replay. Hi, guys. Thank you so much. All right. Well, let's see here. I'm feeling a little bit flustered because we do have a lot of things to do today. So I'm kind of trying to get a little organized here. I see Heather's here, so we're good to go. And I have a piece of hair. Do you guys know, like, when you have like a random piece of hair and it kind of drives you crazy? I've got that. I curled my hair today, and so I feel like I kind of have the hair everywhere. All right. Well, happy Valentine's Day, friends. Thank you for joining us today. So I'm going to do a love themed card today, not technically Valentine's Day. We feel like love can be celebrated every day at Pinkfresh Studio. We have very minimal themed product. We do have the phrase builder Happy Suite, which does allow you to take to create a happy Valentine's Day sentiment. I'm actually not going to use that today. I'm going to use something completely different. But it's still going to be love themed. So I think it's going to be fun. So I'm letting my hot foil system heat up because that is what we'll do first. To be honest with you, it's a pretty dark day out. So my lighting may not be the best. So hopefully it hangs in there. I am not watching the closed captioning, so apparently it's been quite interesting today. Could be because I have Invisalign. I think sometimes my words get a little muffled when I speak, so it is what it is. Okay, so before we get going, welcome. If you're new, we're so happy that you're here. Let us know in the comments if you're new. I may miss seeing it once we get going, but Heather, my partner in crime, she is there in the comments and I'm sure she'll give you a big hello. Regardless, this is just a blanket hello and welcome. We're so glad you all are here, whether you've been coming to our lives for years now or if you're new, we're happy that you're here. Okay, we give away a $15 gift card code at the end of every live. So all you have to do is just do what you're currently doing. Chat with us in the chat. I did just realize it's showing top chat, not all live chat. So I'm going to fix that real quick to make sure that I'm seeing as much as I possibly can in terms of comments. So I guess I should make sure it's not doing that on my phone. I think we're good on my phone. Okay. Anyway, so just chat in the comments, leave questions. I don't see as much once I flip around and start crafting, but Heather is here and she catches a lot. Other crafty friends will also answer your questions. So, but if we do miss it, we do apologize. We're not ignoring you. It's just sometimes comments fly and we just didn't see it. Another way to get an entry into the giveaway, down below, there is a little button, has an arrow and it says share next to it. click on that and you can share it to your Facebook page. You could share it if you have like an email or a DM going on with craft friends. You could share it there. You could also share it in a crafty Facebook group as long as it's allowed. Make sure you check their rules because some don't like that. So make sure you know the rules. And if it is, you are free to do that. Come back here, let us know you shared. It's an extra entry to give away that $15 gift card code. And Heather will pick that winner towards the end of the live. All right, this is the final thing before we get going, although we are still waiting for my hot foil machine to heat up. So, you know, we can't do much until we get to that point. But we do love it if you could give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the reach of the video both now and when it's on replay. And that just helps people find us. It hopefully helps people who are maybe looking to get into crafting to find us and to find crafting in general. So we really love that thumbs up button and we would really appreciate it if you could do that for us. So the one thing I didn't prep before the live was I did not cut out my foil. So let's go ahead and do that. So I kind of changed my viewpoint for foiling. We will go to the desktop camera soon enough, but I am actually just going to narrow this down, and this will just allow you to see a little bit more of the process. We'll look at the foiled pieces up close when it's time, but I'm going to go ahead and get my desk prepped for the foiling. You'll see that the platform actually is ready to go. So let's go ahead and grab the product that we're using today. So this is our brushed sentiments. Sorry about the glare on that. This is our brushed sentiment set. Of course, I want a word in each one, so I got to foil both. I'm not going to do the solid foiling today because I just don't have the time. I will do it later afterwards. So let's go ahead and actually get one of the plates onto our system and let's get it heating up. And then while it's heating up, I can then trim down the foil that I want to use. So the foil that I want to use today is the satin gold. It's this nice like mix between the matte gold and the standard foil. Give me a second. I need to grab a cleaning rag here. I feel like it's a little bit dusty. I think we should be good to go now. Okay, so while this is heating up, I am going to go ahead and trim down a couple pieces of foil. And you may have noticed, yes, I am wearing short sleeves and shorts today. One, I get hot while I'm foiling, and two, it's actually like 40 degrees here. And so it's a bit of a difference from like, you know, 20 and 0 and negative. So yes, I am in shorts. So don't judge me, friends. I'm in my 40s, I get hot. So one thing I've noticed about these satin foils is that they do kind of curl. So I like to put them down on a piece of paper and kind of hold them in place so that it doesn't curl up horribly bad on me. Okay, so we are good to go. So the timer is done. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove the platform from the base. And then I'm going to take this piece and I am going to place it over top of my hot foil plate. And then I'm going to grab the 2 shims that come with the Glimmer hot foil system. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it through my Spellbinders machine over here. Thank you, Tiffany. All right, so let's see how this turned out. Okay. I'm worried that I maybe didn't have the platform on the base very well. So if it didn't turn out, that's okay. We can just do it again. Technically only need the word I on this one. So maybe as long as the I turned out, we're good to go. And you know what? It's actually pretty darn perfect. Not completely perfect there, but really, really close. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this plate off. Ooh, I think I'm gonna need a Misty magnet, but I think I made it work. There we go. Okay, so let's take that plate off. Let's grab the other one, and then we will wait for this to heat up as well. So while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and trim another piece of this foil. Lots of talks about hot flashes in there. It's nice to know I'm not alone. You know, aging in general, especially for women, is definitely not for the faint of heart. Right, Roxanne? It was a little bit big for that magnet. I use the Misty magnet on most of our larger plates just because they're more powerful. I didn't grab that this time, but I think these ones are light enough that it did work out. So let's go ahead and grab this guy one more time. We'll just kind of put that piece I just foiled on top of it to hold it in place. And we're basically now just waiting for our timer to go off. I will do a little cleanup. And I feel like I need to find something. You know what? I have a couple pieces of cardstock back here that I pulled out. Because this is so curly, I'm going to go ahead and just flatten it in between these so that they don't get too mangled before I have a chance to solid foil them. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to get that in there. So we are, it's supposed to like rain today. And then of course, we're supposed to drop temperature tomorrow. So it's going to be just pure ice. So that's fun. Okay. So it looks like we are good to go now on this second plate. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's grab our foil and our cardstock, put that down directly over it. And I'm going to grab my shim here. Might be a little crooked on the cardstock. Might have shifted on me. Here's hoping I at least get the words I need. Thank you guys. I'm glad you like my shirt. I thought it was kind of a cute little addition for Valentine's Day. And I like hearts in general as well. So, all right. So let's see how this one turned out. Ooh, I should be doing this towards you. I apologize. We'll look at these a closer, of course, but that one is absolutely perfect as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my foil system off. We don't need any more foiling done. So this is cool enough. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back over by the foil system. And I'm going to clean my desk off, and then I will go ahead and switch the camera angle over to the correct angle of the page. Hi. All right, let's go ahead and switch back over to the desktop here, and we will get going on creating our cards. So here are our foiled sentiments. They turned out real nice. I love this satin gold foil. They turned out really, really fun. So like I mentioned, these are our brushed sentiments. We have a Christmas version. These ones came out first. And they're just full of fantastic sentiments that you can create. And today I'm going to use the word I, love, and you, but I'm not sure which you I'm going to use, uppercase or lowercase. So we'll cut both out. Let me do a little desk cleanup here because we've got some other things to do before we die cut. So let's go ahead and grab, we're going to be using the flowers from our Happy Blooms Floral set today. So let's go ahead and grab our stamping platform. And I'm going to go ahead and just put some cardstock in here. You could absolutely use a smaller piece of cardstock, but I kind of like having the larger piece in there. I just find it easier to work with. So you can absolutely use a smaller piece for this. But let's go ahead and pull the stamp off. And let's grab it. Now, the great thing about this stamp, I'm not using it today, but it does have the phrase "love you" in it. So you could absolutely use this card for a love themed sentiment. So let's go ahead. We are going to heat emboss this. So I'm going to prep my paper with some anti-static powder real quick. That should be good. And then we will ink it up. Oh my goodness, Tiffany, 180 Valentines. That is a lot. I've made like 3 this year. All right. So I am just using some Wow embossing ink. You can really use any type of embossing ink that you have on hand. And of course, our handy dandy stamp press tool. I pretty much use that all of the time now when I stamp. And I am just going to stamp this a couple times to make sure I get a good impression, because I feel like I need a couple of stamp impressions with embossing ink. Right, let me make sure that looks good. All right, I think we're good to go on that, friends. Sorry, I didn't grab everything out I needed, so I'm kind of grabbing things as we go. So let's get our thing out. I'll clean my stamp later, just for the sake of time. I'm just going to go ahead and set it aside. We will get these covered in some gold embossing powder. This is Brutus Monroe Gilded. It's my favorite gold embossing powder, but there's lots of embossing powders out there that you can use. Okay. All right, I may not have gotten as good of a stamp impression as I would have liked. Let me see if I add a little bit of embossing powder to it, if it will be better. I think it'll still be okay once I heat set it, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Sorry, I'm just going to get rid of excess powder here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and heat set this. So it might be loud, and it might mute me, and it also might sound funky. So I do apologize about that. All righty. So there we have our gorgeous embossed flowers. And I never feel like my video does a very good job of capturing the heat embossing, but it's just this nice, stunning gold. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab at least one of these. I may need 2. So let's go ahead and grab some tape, and we are going to tape our panel down here. Okay. She's on camera here, just wiping off some excess. You know what? I think I need new tape. I think it's time to retire those pieces. So give me 1 second while I create some fresh tape rolls there here. It's possible I need to also clean my glass mat. It might be a little, might have some embossing powder left on it here. Okay. I think someone's giving something away. I'm just gonna let Heather take care of that. Okay, so today we are, of course, using the coordinating stencils that come with this. I'm actually going to follow the mock-up because I really love the colors on the mock-up and I don't think I ever used them. So I'm kind of using this as a color reference for my card today. So we've got our stencils, and I think because of the way that we have these stencils created, I'll probably be using our small brushes today, the ones that we're releasing at the end of this month. I have both sets out, the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch. I'm not sure if I'll use both, but we will see. And we're just going to go ahead and get going here. So I am just lining the stencil up to the stamped image, and of course I got it off. If you're new to our stencils, you'll see that they're numbered in the upper left corner, and they have little hash marks in each corner. Now the hash marks are there only if you're using the stencils alone. When you're using them with a stamped, foiled, or heat embossed image, you will you line them up to the image. You basically forego those alignment guides. And as I am not, as I continue talking, I keep kind of pushing it out of alignment here. So I'm going to take a minute to pay attention better. Okay, so this first stencil is all coral reef. So that's what we're going to be using today for this image. Now these are our tiny, or our 1/2 inch brushes. They are coming out at the end of February. In our February release, they should be. We're pretty much almost 100% sure. So, and I am using Coral Reef to ink blend in these flowers. And the thing I love about these little brushes is you just have more control. So I can ink blend light, I can ink blend heavier, I can dab ink into areas to make it darker as well. I believe we've got somebody asking about cardstock, and no, matching cardstock for our inks is not currently in our plans based on the sheer amount of space it takes up and the cost. Our colors are very custom, and so it's just currently not in our plans. Okay. Right. Blending just a little deeper at the base of some of these. Now I could 100% grab the little tiny brushes and come in here and add more detail, but I'm feeling pretty happy with how these ones turned out without feeling the need to do that. So I think I'm just gonna leave them as is, and let's take a look at our first set of flowers. And aren't those so pretty? If someone's getting a bundle of our inks in the mail today, that's super exciting. All right, so we are moving on to stencil number 2. This is going to be finishing up some flowers, and we'll switch our ink color here in just a moment. We are super excited about these, our little brushes. So we're excited that you guys are excited too. All right, so we are moving on to lemon whip. I'm gonna grab my yellow brush and do a little cleaning to make sure I don't have too much excess yellow in it. Okay. And I'll grab it. I'm just gonna start in the middle of this flower and work my way out so that the yellow will be more concentrated at the center and just a little lighter as it fades out to the rest of the bloom. Okay, let's do this. Get these little guys blended in here. Right, for what this beautiful like daffodil looking flower, I'm gonna blend deeper at the base and then blend it out. Okay. All right, feeling good about the yellow flowers here. So I agree, Tanya, you can definitely really do whatever you want with stencils. And look at how fun the yellow flowers turned out. You can go dark, you can go heavy-handed, you can go light-handed. The possibilities really are quite endless. Okay, so we are moving on to stencil number 3. This is some greenery, some leaves. Oh, thank you, Jane. Appreciate that. All right, and for this guy, we are going to grab our meadow green. Okay. You know what? I think we're okay. I'll just do a little cleaning. I did finally get some extra boxes of these small brushes. And so I am going to delineate. I am going to do a light and a dark, but I didn't have a chance to get that taken care of today. So I'm kind of just inching along with my 2 sets, but I think it's okay because you can clean them off pretty darn quickly. Okay. So for the greenery, I am going to blend a little deeper towards the base and then just fade it out to be a little lighter. Oh, that one I kind of made a little bit of a mess, but I think it'll be okay. I think once it fades a little bit, it'll be a-okay, but it's a little deep toned. That's okay. All right. Just doing the same thing with all the leaves. Blending a little deeper at the base. Okay. All right. These got a little deeper than I expected, but I think it'll be okay because I know that meadow does fade and smooth out a little bit. So I think we will be good on that. All right, I think we have one final stencil and I believe it is 2 colors that I want to use on it. So this is where I'm going to use both Ocean Breeze and Apricot. So let me clean my brush out here real quick. Just get some of that excess green out. So first things first, let's line it up. Okay. There we go. There we go. Teresa, we haven't released any of the brushes yet. They're releasing at the end of this month. Okay, so let's actually start. We're going to actually start with apricot. And I'm going to do just the flower middles in apricot. So none of the flowers are technically orange, but I thought that the apricot would just be a nice mix with both the coral reef and the lemon whip. Okay. I think we are good on those. All right, and then we'll switch to Ocean Breeze. Finish up the rest of these smaller leaves. Yes, we love coloring in with stencils. We're definitely, we aren't I don't think we were the first people to come out with coloring your stamped images in with stencils. We definitely have, kind of made our own little niche in that, for sure. So. All right. And we are real close. We still have a little bit of ink blending to do though, however, because we are going to ink blend a heart panel to coordinate with these colors. So we're not done ink blending yet, but we are done ink blending the flowers. So let's take a look at how they turned out. They're super fresh and springy. I do love the color combo a lot. Yes, I agree, Lisa. Very nice and fresh spring vibes here. All right, let's go ahead and set these aside because we're going to finish ink blending our other panel real quick. I will clean my stencils off a little bit more extensively when we're done, but I'm going to go ahead and also set these aside. So for our panel, we are going to ink blend a mini slimline panel with our Slimline Hearts Builder, Heart Builder stencil set. Get that correctly here. Hi, Sandra. Glad you made it live as well. And I'm actually probably going to use bigger brushes for this one. So our Slimline Hearts Builder is 3 sets. And so I am just going to basically center the hearts on the panel as much as I can. And I'm going to start with, of course, that's moving on me. Let's try that again. I'm going to start with the first one, the first stencil, I mean. There we go. Okay. And we are going to create a nice little gradient with Coral Reef, Lemon Whip, and Ocean Breeze, because those are kind of the 3 main colors in there. I'm going to omit Meadow from it, the hearts. We're just going to leave it at the 3 colors. I'm just going to make a nice gradient. Mom Full of Joy, no, I don't think that this stencil set, I'm pretty certain that this stencil set does not coordinate with the hot flow plate. Although, how many rows of cards do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, perfect. So I need the gradient to be about 3 sets of hearts, basically. Mini slimline cards are technically about the size of a check. So they go in the same envelopes that like you would send or back in the day when you wrote checks and sent your bills in that way. They're the same envelope size. So the only time you would need extra storage, or excuse me, extra postage is if your cards are dimensional or not flat enough. So I pretty much always add extra postage onto my card for that reason. But if your card is flat enough, it should not be a problem. Okay, so we are going to move on to Lemon Whip. And the great thing about this is when Lemon Whip combines up here a little bit with the Coral Reef, it will make a little bit of an orange to kind of represent the orange that we added onto the flower middles. I may actually come in and kind of add a little bit more Coral Reef in here as well. Okay, perfect. I don't know that one right off the top of my head, Sarah, about the mini slimline envelope size. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's like a number, but I don't know that one off the top of my head. Okay. And then let's finish off with Ocean Breeze. I keep finding hairs on me and it's driving me crazy, friends. Okay. And then kind of the same when the Ocean Breeze mixes a little bit with the yellow, it kind of brings in that green and kind of represents the meadow. So it's very subtle, but it does show up. Okay, so there is our first heart gradient. I'm gonna at least do the second stencil. I'm just gonna use all the same colors. But I'm not completely sure if I'm going to do the third stencil. We'll play it by ear here. So this one, I didn't use anything to line it up. I'm actually lining this one up by sight. So I'm just basically getting the hearts nice and centered inside of each heart. It may not be perfect when all is said and done, but hey, that's okay. This is handmade, not Hallmark. It does not have to be perfection. Okay. You know what? Since I have Ocean Breeze done, we'll move from the bottom up this time. Go ahead and just get some layers added in here. These will be subtle because I'm using the same color, but you'll be able to see them because there will be some layering on top. Okay, feeling good about that one. So go ahead and grab Lemon Whip. Right. Yellow always blends faster because it's just a brighter color. I have felt. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed the same thing. That yellow just goes on quite a bit quicker than any other color. Right, and onto Coral Reef here. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, it's coming along. I love that little added depth of hearts, and I am absolutely going to go ahead and do the smaller little hearts as well. I think it'll just be a nice touch. Okay. Once again, I'm just eyeballing, lining them up Might have to get my hair in here for a minute. Sorry about that if I did. Okay. Oops, I kind of nudged that. So let's take a look at it. Make sure it still feels like it's in a good spot. All right. And then since we got Coral Reef open, this time we'll go back from top to bottom. Hey, don't you move on me, stencil. Are we still good? Yeah. I have to maybe hold this one in place a little bit. I think my tape is starting not to tape very well. All right, this one I'm going to try to blend these last little hearts a little heavier. Okay. Do lemon whip. Feeling good about the lemon whip. Final color. Back to Ocean Breeze. Yeah, texture paste would be awesome, but not super easy for lives. So we kind of tend to not use those just because we don't really have enough dry time, and but that would be a great idea. Glitter, something along those lines would be really fun for the last layer, of course. I'm just going to stick with ink because it's just a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. But let's take a look at the final reveal of our adorable heart background. Look at how fun that is. I think that turned out super, super cute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my ink cleaned up real quick. We got to get some die cutting done. And then we will be good to get our card assembled. We do have a bit of die cutting. So here, I'm not completely sure how we may run a bit over. So just to let you guys know, I will clean all of my stencils more extensively when we're done. But let's go ahead and get some stuff cut. Now, I pre-cut this panel with our, goodness, Leah, I've got butterfingers. I pre-cut this panel with our mini Slimline bundle. In the end, it's going to be covered up because I'm going to put a frame on top of it. So, but I wanted it for size reference. So that's why it has a stitched edge. I think in the end, it's probably not going to matter. Okay, let's grab all the things we need to die cut. And I got to grab some gold pearl paper. So give me a second while I grab that, because I did forget to pre-cut this. I normally would pre-cut these frames, but it slipped my mind. So we'll just cut it live. All right, so we need all of these things. So just getting everything organized here. Let's go ahead and cut out our flowers first. And my goodness, friends, I need to change my cutting plate out. I keep forgetting, so I might put that on my to-do list today because it is in terrible shape. It's time for a new one. All righty. Let me get this die lined up here. We've got the nice one-piece die, of course, for cutting out the flowers. It's taking a minute to get it nice and lined up here. I'm just using some of that washi tape that I held my stencils down with to hold the die down. And then I can go ahead and toss it because it will have been used plenty of times. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this through. My machine's off camera, so I'll be right back with the pieces. All right, so there is our first layer. So cute. It's got a couple little chads you need to poke out. All right, so it's starting to get really dark here. I feel like we maybe have a storm coming to settle in. Here's hoping. that it's not too bad. It doesn't affect my lighting too bad. All right, so there is all of that. Now I'll hold on to this big chunk of paper. Well, I'm kind of ruining some of it, but that's okay. And because you can use this for cutting out extra pieces and stuff, so I definitely won't get rid of that. Yeah, it's really dark, so hopefully we're good. I'm keeping an eye on the light on my phone. Grab these pieces off here and we can toss that washi. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab our die sets for the sentiments. And I have to find the right one. Nope. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know it still is looking okay. You know, Kathy, the foil does scratch sometimes, and I think I just kind of, I just kind of go back to my motto that it's handmade is not Hallmark, and I don't know that anybody's going to notice if you do a little bit of scratching in the foil. Now, of course, on like bigger pieces, background solid foil pieces, it's a little bit more noticeable, but I think in the end, it's probably, I don't think anybody would ever really notice other than you. Okay. So there is our first set. I'm gonna go ahead and get these die cut real quick. Right, and with that fantastic die, you get all of these cut out at once. You didn't have to tape down a bazillion dies. I absolutely love the one-piece dies for this very purpose. Do you know how long it would have taken me to cut all those out? Like probably a half hour at least. Okay, we'll set that guy aside. I'll get the chads and stuff out later. Just for the sake of time, we're going to keep moving on here. Okay, let's grab that guy. And one more new piece of tape here. Let's line up. Get that guy on there. Line up this. Die. One more piece of washi tape here. Tracy, this sentiment set is called Brushed Sentiments. There is a standard version and a holiday version, and I'm using the standard version today. And I will be completely honest, I think I actually forgot to put a link list in the video description. So I will do that right after I end the live. I do apologize for that, about that, guys. Okay. The rest of these. Not those like lined up just perfectly. Goodness. Okay. Alrighty. Cool. Set that aside. Okay. I'm going to set the die aside because I'm going to want to poke out all of the little chads out of there. And then one final thing, let's go ahead and cut our mini slimline frame also. Now, just a reminder, mini slimline products are actually all on sale this week. They're 30% off. So if you are wanting to add some mini slimline dies to your crafty stash, this is a great week to do it because they are a great price. All right, and this is just some gold pearl paper from Tonic. And I think after this, we are officially done die cutting. Right. So this is what the frame looks like now. the frame does come apart. So you can color block, you can pop it, pop it up. I think I'm gonna leave it like this today. Just in full one piece, and it's just gonna be a nice bold frame on my slimline, my mini slimline card. Okay, we'll set that aside. All right, friends, I think I'm officially done die cutting. So we have our panel. I made this mini slimline card base, and I'm a little unsure if I'm going to keep it or not. We'll see. Actually, you know what? It's actually a really pretty darn good match. So I do think I am going to keep it. So I'm going to take the little loops that I made and put them on the inside of my card here to hold it down a little bit. Okay. So we are just going to take a look at how I want this design to come together. And there is one reason why we probably will go a little bit over, is because I did cut the pieces from our mini slimline envelope, and I do want to assemble that with you guys so you can see it come to life in person. So then I think we're going to use one of these florals, maybe that one actually, and then we're going to do the I love. Got to find the U's here. I love you. Okay, and I'm just not sure which one I'm going to use yet. Okay, let's grab this and get all of these out. So what I'll do, because I do want to use the mini slimline envelope and put it together, but I'll do it at the end. So if you have to leave, Heather can pick a winner of the gift card code, and if you have to leave, you can. But I will assemble the mini slimline envelope afterwards. Okay, so we've got the I love. You know what? I feel like maybe I'm going to prefer this one. Yeah. And then we can, there we go. I think I like this much better. And truthfully, while I do like the uppercase, it's kind of too big. So I think we're going to go with the lowercase, and then I think I'll use that on the envelope. All right, Kitty, no, our gift card codes don't expire. Okay. So just doing a little fluffing here. All right, let's start putting this card together. All right, just going to use a little bit of liquid glue to adhere the heart panel down directly to the card base. Okay. I like to use liquid glue for this because it just gives me a little bit of time to make sure that I have the panel on there pretty straight. So then I am going to grab this guy. We're going to put foam tape over the seam so that it doesn't break apart. Okay. There's that. All of the sentiments that I'm using, Diane, are from that same brushed sentiments foil set that I used. There's also matching stencils, which make them look kind of like ribbon words, and a matching stamp set as well. And then, of course, the coordinating dies that coordinate with all. Kitty, if you won a gift card previously, it hasn't expired. So if we sent it to you it works. You just had to claim it within 2 weeks. So you should be totally fine. So I do believe, Diane, that the word you, the uppercase and the lowercase, are on different plates. I'm pretty sure. So it's possible you didn't foil the plate that had the, whichever version you didn't see. Okay, so there is our frame. Get a little fluffing done here. Figure out how I want to do this. There we go. Kind of tuck that guy in. I did cover up most of the coral reef hearts, but that's okay. There's a lot of coral in the flower, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oh my goodness, my glue is making a huge mess. I'm going to have to clean that when we're done here. Since I have this placed kind of exactly right where I want it to be, I'm just going to go ahead and throw a little liquid glue underneath there. Okay, don't want this to go too much off the edges because I want it to fit in an envelope. All right. So now let's start our sentiment. We're going to throw some pieces on here, or some foam tape onto the words. So the eye is going to kind of tuck up in there. Perfect. Okay, and then the love, it's going to kind of go right there in the middle. Yes, these are just thin foam strips I get on Amazon. If you go to my website, I do have them saved under my favorites tab, if you're just looking for easy access. But if you just search thin foam strips on Amazon, I think they pop up pretty easily. All right, so Heather is gonna go ahead. She's announcing the winner because I'm about at time and I still want to show you guys that mini slimline envelope coming together. So congratulations to Allison Nett. You have won today's $15 gift card code. So congratulations. You just got to send me an email and Heather gave you all of that information in there to claim your prize. You do have to claim your prize within 2 weeks. And I kind of like that skewed there. So I'm going to go lowercase. I know everybody really kind of enjoyed the uppercase, but I think lowercase fits better. So that's the one I'm going to go with today. Anyway, send me an email. There's no H on the end of my name. So it's just LEA@pinkfreshstudio.com to claim your prize. And congratulations. Okay. I feel like that is going to be enough, because I don't want that to have any foam tape on it. Perfect. Okay. There we go. Let's set that guy aside. All right, I'm going to set the U aside here. Roxanne, I'm actually not completely sure what bling I want to use today and where I want to put it. So I think I'm going to ponder it a little bit. And I will, of course, I'll add bling. I may add bling. I don't know. We'll see. But I think I'm going to ponder on the bling a little bit. So if I do add it, you'll see it in the photos. So there is our fun I love you card. But let's go ahead and take a look at the, let's make a little envelope for it. And so I think off camera, after I've assembled the envelope, I'm actually probably going to blend the hearts on the back of it too, and create kind of a matching heart themed envelope for it. So pretty exciting. So this is our mini slimline envelope set. And so it's multiple pieces, of course. That's it. We don't have big enough die cut machines for them not to be multiple pieces. So what I find works best for me is some thin double-sided adhesive. This is score tape, but there is a ton of options out there. And you'll notice, actually they may not show up, so maybe I'll show you on the die. We have added score lines onto the die so that you'll know where you need to fold it. One thing I do like to do with the panels with the little envelope flaps is grab my score pal and make those just a little bit deeper. So you just want to follow along. Oops, I'm not doing a very good job of following along the score line, am I? Goodness, Leah. Maybe this is the one I'll do this side. So the other thing you have to mention about the flaps is when you're creating it, you have to do one flap kind of inside out. So that's the only way to have two flaps. If you folded them both the same way, your flaps would be wrong. So you kind of got to use the side with the rougher edges to do one side of the flap. I always like to trim off just a little tiny bit of excess that the fold makes. So one thing that might actually work better is fold it and then use your tool to really burnish that edge. So then you can fold one like normal. Okay. Doing a terrible job folding this. There we go. And go ahead and burnish it down. Yes, the mini Slimline envelope is in the sale as well. So it is also 35% off. So there you have your two flaps. So you folded one normal and then you flipped one over and folded it the other way. And so this has the opposite. It doesn't have the nice finished edge, but it's the one I put underneath. And really, honestly, when all is said and done, you don't even really notice it all that much. And then there is the little fold line on the bottom for the flap as well. So I'm going to go ahead that. I'm not going to fold the top because I want to ink blend it still, which we're not going to do live. I'll do that off camera. So then let's move this guy out of the way. So then what I think, what I like to do is go ahead and put this thin, this is a 1/8 inch score tape. I like to put it on the inside of the flap, or excuse me, the little piece you folded over to make your flap anyway. Got to get the release paper to come off here. And then you just kind of butt it up at the bottom and align each edge like that. You will also need a piece of score tape to go down along the side of this, because this is where you'll connect the two flaps together. So let's go ahead and add some tape to the other flap. And actually, Roxana is correct. These actually also look really beautiful, cut from pattern paper. So keep that in mind. If you have pattern paper lying around, create an envelope out of it because it's stunning. I chose to do white cardstock today because I knew I wanted to create the heart piece on the front of it. Okay, so we've got all of the pieces put together. Super easy, right? So then go ahead and release or remove the release paper from that little bit of score tape that we added on the inside. And go ahead and adhere your flap down. And then the final thing we need to do is add some to the final flap at the bottom. Like this. Adhere that. And now you have a mini slimline envelope, which I am struggling to get the card into, of course. I'll have to work on that. It might be that I need to burnish those a little bit more. So, but now you have a mini slimline envelope for your card. There we go. There we go. I think it got stuck on that piece of cardstock in there. And of course, I made mine a little dimensional, so you kind of got to tuck those flowers in there. But there we go. Super easy to create an envelope, and you can decorate it and make it all pretty. And then you have a perfectly sized envelope for your mini slimline cards. So super fun. Thanks for sticking with me. For those of you that were able to see the envelope come together, I'll get the envelope all finished up and it will be a part of the photograph as well, so you can see how it turned out. But I have a feeling I'm going to add the heart, the blended hearts on the back so that it kind of coordinates. Maybe put the flowers or something on there. Anyway, that is everything I have for you today. I'm going to go ahead and pop back over to me and just say goodbye. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Someone's asking how to seal your envelope up top. You can use double-sided adhesive. You could just put some glue in there. Probably double-sided adhesive would hold stronger. You could just fold it and put a sticker or washi tape. There's lots of different options for adhering it down. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining me today. Thanks for hanging in there in the last few minutes to show off how to use this fun die. Mini Slimline products are all on sale for 30% off this week. And I will update the video description ASAP. So all of the links are included. That totally slipped my brain today. All right. Join us on Thursday for Scrapbooking Live with Kathleen. Same time, same place, 12 noon here on our YouTube channel. And then we will be back next week. I think next week is our combined sneak peek live of our February release. All right, I'm going to let you guys go because I am 10 minutes over time. But thanks so much for joining us. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and happy Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.